Immediately after the Walthour-Spencer victory, Rickard's Garden closed its doors for the last time. It occupied property owned by an insurance company whose officials informed Rickard that they planned to demolish the garden and replace it with an office building. Rickard intended to continue his Circus Maximus with cycling, boxing, and a new sport that caught his fancy, ice hockey. He named his in-house National Hockey League team Texas Rangers, known officially as the New York Rangers. He raised nearly $6 million from his 400 millionaires Wall Street backers to construct a new building 25 blocks uptown. Rickard thus continued the name Madison Square Garden. In celebration, he invited his millionaires to a banquet he called Kings of Sport at the Waldorf Astoria. The Kings amounted to the most popular athletes of the year: Yankees star hitter Babe Ruth, the new heavyweight boxing champion Gene Tunney, Olympic gold medalist swimmer Johnny Weissmuller, who would rule the jungle in movies as Tarzan, New York Rangers hockey star Bill Cook, Wimbledon tennis champion Bill Tilden, golf's Grand Slam winner Bobby Jones, and six-day riders Spencer and New Yorker Charlie Winter. After posing for this portrait, these sports icons left for Walter Chrysler's home. They partied till dawn. Another Walthour, Jimmy Jr., son of Bobby Sr.'s identical twin brother, sped into the national limelight at age 17 in 1927.
Jimmy Walthour Jr. succeeded in winning both the U.S. National Championship on the road and on the track, which was quite an unusual development. He was the first ever to do that in the United States. And for the 1928 Olympics, Jimmy Walthour was regarded as a hot prospect to represent the United States at the 1928 Olympics and be a gold medal favorite, but John M. Chapman turned him professional.
As a professional, Jimmy was ineligible for the Olympics. Chapman signed Jimmy to ride sixes in Chicago and Detroit, both of which Jimmy won.
Jimmy Walthour then teamed with Bobby Walthour Jr., the two Walthour Juniors, became very popular in competing, and they did go to Europe and compete.
Chapman offered him a $10,000 bonus if he remained single for 5 years. Chapman's publicist, Harry Mendel, arranged a publicity stunt. A photographer took a picture of Jimmy surrounded by 5 showgirls pointing their fingers at him. They warned, "Do not sign." Within 6 months, Jimmy married one of the beauties, losing his $10,000 bonus. Chapman's sixes paid well because whether they were in New York, Chicago, Boston, or elsewhere, his programs drew capacity crowds.
I enjoyed it because I was making a good buck. I'm going back in the days you could go here in New York and get a corned beef sandwich for 15 cents, or you could go into a tavern for a nickel, get a beer, and go and have a little lunch.
Riders, however, chafed at his high-handed manner. They called him a czar.
Chapman had a great reputation for being honest. None of the riders I talked to who had dealt personally with John M. Chapman would ever refer to Chapman without calling him a son of a bitch.
Chapman wanted me because I was a Jew. No, he treated me good. Anybody that he would want. And like I say, that one race that I went there and wanted to sign up for, and they wanted to cut me, and I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't ride. And Tex Rickard, I went over the garden, and Tex Rickard saw me, like on a Tuesday. He said, "Hey, Gassman, how come you're not in this race?" Well, I said, "Chapman wanted to cut me, and then if I start, if it comes to the point where I'm starting to go down, I ain't riding these things for nothing." And Tex Rickard couldn't interfere. He quick. But I know what he was thinking. The only Jew in New York, and you don't have him in the race. Yeah. But see, Tex Rickard was a businessman, and Chapman was a son of a bitch.
He barked to prevent his riders from doing what some Chicago White Sox players did when they agreed to fix the 1919 World Series.
The idea of a fix upset Chapman, and he wanted to make sure that his events, the events that he put on and promoted, were very competitive, that the racers were not going to fix things between one another or among themselves.
His riders acknowledged that he paid them what they were due, and he recruited Europe's best. He signed up the top U.S. talents, too. His fields were evenly divided with U.S. and foreign riders. Rookies received contracts of $100 a day plus free tires. Stars earned up to $1,000 a day. And everyone could take home more from the $50,000 prize money plus preems.
The preems used to be good. Jesus from New York, but Mad Hatter had come up, and Capone, and God, the preems were very good.
Spectators paid to watch the action, especially the jams. Some jams carried on for hours. The cyclists leaned at 40 miles an hour through the turns. They veered up the banking and plunged down to build speed. During jams, officials rang the bell constantly. Fans yelled themselves hoarse, and the wooden oval turned into a beehive of hyperactivity. The fans were held in suspense over who would win, even when the hours counted down to the midnight Saturday finish.